So welcome to my dream school. So myself I am SHEKAR. Today we are discussing about how Selenium works. So before going to say the actual concept, so what is an automation? What is the need of an automation? So most of the industries are migrating from manual testing to automation. Whether the companies are benefited by this one. So first, what is an automation? So automation is nothing but the process of converting a manual test case to test script. In test case there is no programming is involved. Coming to test script, some logic and programming is involved. So converting of test case into test scripts by using some automation tool with the help of an automation tool. So is called as automation. Then what is the need of automation? As we discussed previously, whether the companies are going to benefit at anything? Obviously, it saves the execution time. We can reduce the overall cost. And these test scripts are repeatable on multiple belts. Next, what is testing? Testing is categorized into functional testing and non-functional testing. I'll give a simple brief introduction. Functional testing. So in functional testing, the functionality of the product is verified, whether it is meeting the customer and business requirements, whether the product is having any bugs, simply whether the product is meeting its functionality for what it was designed. So coming to functionality testing, manual testing, so there is no programming is involved, so we are going to perform manually. Coming to automation, so we are going to use some tools. With the help of tools we are going to perform some testing process. Coming to automation tools, Selenium, Q2P, Windrunner, Self-Test, RFT, water and watering. But coming to here, the most probably we are going to see in industries are Selenium, and in some places still they are using Q2P. Quick Test Professional, so vendor is HP, but Selenium is an open source. And next, coming to non-functional testing. Non-functional testing is nothing but performance testing to determine how fast your product will respond to your request, whether it is meeting the customer expectations, what type of experience it is giving, how fast your product is. So that is going to be checked in non-functional testing. Next, what is Selenium? Selenium is an automation tool which is mainly used to automate web applications and mobile applications. One of the main reasons why Selenium testing framework is more popular, that is because it is the open source software. Anybody can download and use for free of cost. So this is the main reason that most of the companies are migrating to Selenium. Previously they are using Q2P. Q2P is having vendor support, but even though Selenium is an open source, there is no vendor support for Selenium, but the people are migrating to Selenium because of open source and free of cost. So the cost is going to be reduced. The total cost is going to be reduced. Coming to history of Selenium. Let us see what is the history. Selenium was first came into life in 2004 when Johnson Higgins was testing an internal application at ThoughtWorks company. In 2006, an engineer at Google named Simon Stewart worked on a project called WebDriver. In 2008, the whole Selenium team decided to merge WebDriver and Selenium RC to form a more powerful tool called Selenium tool. And one more point, all Selenium projects are licensed under the Apache 2.0, that is open source. Anybody can download it with free of cost. The Selenium supporting platforms are Microsoft Windows, that is Selenium supports OSs are Microsoft Windows, Unix or Linux, Macintosh, Apple OS, Android OS and etc. And also it supports multiple browsers. That is example we can see Mozilla Firefox, Internet Explorer, Google Chrome, Safari, Opera, etc. It supports multiple browsers, and it also supports cross-browser testing. And it supports multiple languages. There are several languages like Java, C#, Perl, Python, PHP. Of course, Selenium was first written in Java, but it also supports all these languages. But coming to QTP, it uses only VB script. And what are the reasons to learn Selenium? Why we have to learn Selenium and why we have to use Selenium? The main reasons are, as we discussed previously, Selenium helps to automate in Ajax and CS applications. It can be able to record and play back the test cases. It can be able to record and play back the test cases. By using Selenium, we can run the test cases in multiple browsers, right? Chrome, Internet Explorer, Safari, Opera, like that. For generating the reports, Selenium can be integrated with TestNG framework to test any applications. So by integrating with TestNG application, TestNG is nothing but test next generation. We can able to generate reports. A TestNG or JUnit. Selenium can be used for Android, iPhone, BlackBerry, etc. Just like mobile application testing. As we discussed previously, Selenium can be used to test web applications and mobile applications. Next, difference between Selenium and QTP. As we discussed previously, Selenium is an open source tool and QTP is a vendor support, that is HP. So Selenium is open source and QTP is a commercial tool. It is supported by some vendor HP, and so Selenium supports several languages, that is Java, Perl, PHP, Python, Ruby, C# and HTML. But coming to QTP, it supports only VB script. So whatever the script you are going to write, definitely we have to use VB script. And it supports multiple browsers, Firefox, IE, Google Chrome, Safari, Opera. But here IE, Firefox and Google Chrome. And coming to OS, Windows, Mac, Linux. But coming to QTP, it supports only Windows. It is flexible and extendable. Coming to QTP, it is flexible and extendable less. Selenium supports for web apps and mobile applications. QTP supports desktop as well as web and mobile. But Selenium also supports desktop applications by integrating with a framework called Sikuli and AutoIT. If you use Sikuli or AutoIT, definitely it can able to automate desktop applications also. And the next topic is Selenium components. Selenium components are Selenium IDE, that is nothing but integrated development environment, Selenium RC, Selenium WebDriver and Selenium Grid. So let us see first one, Selenium IDE. So what is Selenium IDE? The term IDE stands for Integrated Development Environment. So it is an record and playback tool. So whatever we can do, we can record and later we can play back. So it is an add-on for Firefox. We can install and record in Firefox only. We can install the software and record in Firefox only. For each and every action you perform, it will generate script. By default, the script will be in HTML language. And of course, if you want, we can convert into other supporting languages like Java, .NET, Python, Perl or any other language. The recorded scripts can be run against other browsers with the help of Selenium RC and WebDriver. So as we discussed previously, Selenium IDE is an add-on for Firefox. Whatever the scripts you are generated in Selenium IDE, that also can be used in other browsers, that is Google Chrome, Internet Explorer, but with the help of Selenium RC and Selenium WebDriver. Why? Because it is an add-on for Firefox. And the next one concept is Selenium RC. The term RC stands for remote control. And one more point, it is a Selenium one, and it was introduced by Jason Huggins in 2004. Selenium RC is a server which is responsible to launch all the browsers at a time. Sorry, all the browsers, but one browser at a time. To launch all the browsers, but one browser is going to perform at a time. By using Selenium RC, we can able to automate the entire applications. So that is about Selenium RC. The main point is, so RC is responsible to launch all the browsers, but at a time only one browser is going to be performed. And the next one, most important one, is Selenium WebDriver. So Selenium WebDriver is the Selenium 2 and the advanced version of Selenium RC. So what are the drawbacks which are identified in RC are overcome in WebDriver, and also Selenium WebDriver is having some added advantages. And the next one is Selenium Grid. So Grid is for parallel execution. So by using Grid, we can launch all browsers and execute the script in all browsers parallelly. That is, we can launch all the browsers at a time, and we can execute the script in all browsers at a time. Maximum we can launch up to 5 browsers. Our next concept is how Selenium WebDriver works. So how Selenium WebDriver works in an easy way of explanation. To explain this concept, I am going to use a story of taxi driving. The main concept of story is how taxi driver drives the taxi, in the same way that the Selenium WebDriver drives the browser. Simply we can say that Selenium WebDriver drives the browser the same way a taxi driver drives a cab. And simply we can say that a Selenium WebDriver drives a browser as the same that of a taxi driver drives a cab. In taxi driving there are 3 actors. Let us see here. In taxi driving there are 3 actors. The first one is the client or passenger, the taxi driver, and the car. So in this one, the client tells to the taxi driver where he wants to go and how to get there. And the taxi driver is the person, he executes the client's request. So whatever the client say, that are going to be executed by the taxi driver. So the taxi driver sends his own request to the car, and next the car executes the taxi driver request. So what is happening here? The client gets to the destination through dialogues that happens between the client taxi driver and taxi driver car. Simply we can say that the client gives instruction to the taxi driver gives instruction to the car is going to execute the instruction given by the taxi driver. So this is a concept which is going to be used in Selenium WebDriver. Next, if you observe the diagram, the passenger, a client giving instruction to the taxi driver. You see here, the taxi driver is giving some hints or instruction to the passenger, that is, go to 123 street, turn left, drive for 200 meters, turn right, stop. So after taking the input from the passenger, the taxi driver is giving instructions to the car. So how we are giving instruction to the car? Start the engine, start the meter, accelerate, turn left, turn right, slow down the engine, stop the engine. So after taking the instruction from the passenger, he is giving instructions to the car. Then the car is executing the taxi driver instruction, accelerating by increasing speed, by turning left, by turning right, by stop. So the taxi is executing the instructions. So this is a story, just observe carefully how we are going to use this one. We can apply the same concept to the Selenium WebDriver. How Selenium WebDriver works. In test automation with Selenium WebDriver also, there are 3 actors. One is test engineer, Selenium WebDriver, the browser. So test engineer is a client, The Selenium WebDriver is a taxi driver and car is the browser. So here the role of the test engineer is he writes the automation code and sends to the WebDriver. So the WebDriver executes the request sent by the test engineer and sends his own request to the browser. And then the browser executes the driver request. See here, tester is nothing but passenger, browser driver is nothing but taxi driver, and browser is nothing but car. Whatever the instruction given by the tester, that are going to be executed by the browser driver and send some commands to the browser. Based on that commands, the browser is going to be executed and the browser performs some functions. You can see here, customer provides instruction to the taxi driver, taxi driver provides commands to the car executes commands. Simple analogy. See here, the same concept apply here. Tester provides instruction to the browser driver provides commands to the browser executes commands. It's nothing but the WebDriver drives the browsers. According to the instruction given by the tester, the WebDriver drives the browser according to the requirement. So that is a concept we learned. I hope you enjoyed very well. Thank you very much, guys. Thank you guys. Please subscribe my channel.